Alright, welcome to Talking with Famous People, and we're going to have the second in what may be a series of medium length or short length videos, maybe more than a couple of them. And it's about Metasoap. She texted me, and she also commented on one of the videos that she wanted to be banned. She wanted to be bizanned, bizanned. And I'm like, what? You want to be banned? And she's like, yeah, I'm spending too much time on talking with famous people. So my
I think
question
she's
is,
joking.
she texted me.
What?
She texted me, and the text to me is not, it's pretty clear she's not joking. And
What text
she's
you?
Hey, what's up?
she instructed me to not use some additional name that she said, which I obviously won't use. Um, but uh, she didn't say not to say anything about the rest of the text, so I'm assuming it's okay. And it just says, "Can you temp? Yo, Eric is Metasoap. Hope I am not waking you up, but can you temporarily ban me from your channel? I spend too much time there. TINEFE loop. Need to kick SI." And she asked for my email. And she says, don't use this other name that she mentions on the air, which obviously I'm not going to. And that's it. So, what do you think about that?
I think that's cringy as fuck.
You think it's cringy?
Yeah. Only because, okay, I did a similar thing when I was younger. This website I used to go on,
Club Penguin?
no, there was this flash I used to go on where I would animate avatars and shit on, right? And I would sell them for money. And, there was this, like, circumstance where I got in an argument, um, on, like, one of the forums with these people. I was like 12 years old, and I was like fucking raging, right? I was just typing all this shit, and I ended up like messaging the moderators on the website, like begging them to ban me. I don't know, I was fucking cringy as shit looking back. So that's why I perceived Metasoap saying
Did
that was
did
cringy.
they did they ban you?
No, I think I got banned for like 1 day for fucking saying all that shit on the forums, but I think I got, it might have been 2 days, but
And
yeah.
did you go back?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I stayed on that website till I was like maybe 16, and then I deleted my account because it was pretty much dead. Then I made an alternate account that I go on every so often just to see how things are going.
What is it?
I don't want to say.
Okay, my question is this: do you think that there is?
What? What's up?
Okay, are you back? Okay. Do you think there's a moral decision making element here where you say, well, the individual's asking me to do that. I should be willing to do that. There's no reason not to, and it's the right thing to do to comply with somebody's wishes regarding something like that, or do you think something else?
I think if she feels like she's addicted to talking Facebook, why doesn't she just stop watching us? You know?
Can you be addicted to a YouTube channel?
Ask Faith. Wait, is Faith
I,
in here yet?
I think you can be addicted to pretty much anything.
But see, if
Same.
you've been addicted to a drug, the notion of being addicted to something that's not a drug seems to minimize what real addiction is a little bit. If you've been addicted to a
Yeah, I
hard
can see it.
drug,
It might not be not like the same level of addiction, but it's still that compulsion.
I think things can be psychologically addictive.
Yeah.
okay, but isn't that really the person who's psychologically addictive and is finding something to be addicted to?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you take away the addict's thing, aren't they going to get addicted to something else to replace it? If isn't it the behavior implicit in the person rather than the thing itself? Like you can have the behavior be
I
directed
suppose, but
more.
I mean, there are those aspects. You can make the same argument for someone addicted to something that you can make the same argument for anyone who's addicted to anything, regardless of whether or not the thing has
Right,
withdrawal once you take it away.
right. But there's a difference between, oh, I'm addicted to wine, so I'm going to shift to beer. You're not really changing your anything. You're just changing a different kind of alcohol, right? Oh, well, I'll just shift to whiskey then. Oh, I'll shift to vodka. That's not going to do you any good, right? It might do you good to shift from alcohol to some other drug, but then that would be entirely different if you found the other drug was less wasteful of your time. So she's saying basically, okay, I'm wasting too much time on this. I'm putting too many comments up. I have too much to say about it. Yada yada yada. Okay, well, my point is, if you're gonna, the behavior exists. It can't. I mean, I wish it were the case, but it can't possibly be that talking with famous people is so impossibly good that there's nothing else that she can replace it with. Like that if she started watching this, that she wouldn't. There's no other YouTube channel she could watch. Well, there's no way I'm gonna watch anything else because, you know.
Well, this might be the level of interaction, and she had her justification
I think
because
we're
the TINEFE loop that she said she's getting into.
I think we're taking the wrong way. Don't fucking ban her. Just let her do what she wants. I mean, I don't understand what the problem here is. Like, I mean, that's how I see it. Like, I don't know. First of all,
Yeah.
it would directly hurt us, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like the way I see it is like I mean, if she wants to stop watching, do it on her own volition. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe
Yeah, that's the
refusing
point
to
I
ban.
made earlier.
And what I said in the earlier video is refusing to ban her might make her so mad that she chooses to ban herself at that point. In theory.
Well, if she starts like being like aggressive or some shit, like ban her. I mean, it's if she did something ban worthy, you ban her. But until she's done that, like I just don't.
A ban worthy around here has got to be pretty significant. I mean, I,
Well,
it,
she has management position on the channel, and she starts to lead and shit. Yeah.
oh well, yeah. It's just, I mean, but she does. I don't know if she does or not at the moment. It makes me a little worried. Let me go see about that. But see, I still think she certainly is a highly intriguing individual. You might say, well, this was cringy or whatever, but it certainly was interesting. It was a very interesting thing to do. So on that level, I find it less cringy than you find it. I think I find it odd mostly. I mean, I find it flattering and odd, but
I find that odd as
interesting.
well.
But interesting. So you think in general in that situation, forgetting Metasoap, taking Metasoap out of the equation, you think that there's no that like do you think that it's better morally in some sense to comply with that person's request, or better to not comply, or morally neutral?
Um, anything that affects an individual's behavior. Let's see. I say if someone wants to change their own behavior, that should be on their own. I think that should be their desire or their.
Prerogative?
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it's like okay, for example, what if I okay, let's say I move out to Cali, okay, and I'm like Eric, I got this pistol. You're gonna shoot me in the face. I write this contract out that I have agreed to this. You're not gonna be legally held for. Shoot me in my face. Here. Are you gonna do it?
Well, no, but I think I would argue that while banning her from the Talking with Those People YouTube channel would be terribly harmful to her, it is not quite the same level of harm as shooting her in the face with a gun.
I know, but it's like the same like sort of they want. I would want you to do something that is behavior that I would want you to change behavior of mine because I want it to be changed. Right? It's putting the moral like it's putting the weight on you to change my own behavior. That behavior in this circumstance would be me living.
Why
I
is it
won't live.
my burden to change your behavior, woman? Like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, she gets really mad when I refer to her as woman. I forget about that.
Are you
I
recording
mean,
this right now?
yeah. I mean, dude, is what I meant to
Oh,
say. Metasoap, just FYI. What am I trying? What am I doing right now? Oh, that's right. I was looking into that thing. I forget how to do that now. I have to look it up again. How to add channel managers.
I don't know. I don't think you should agree to ban her. I think if she wants to change her own behavior, just do that.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question about which is morally better or is it morally neutral? I give you three
I think it's.
choices.
I think it's morally. I think it's. It's. I think it's. For you, it's morally neutral. For her, it's morally bad because she's asking someone else to change their own behavior.
Okay. Why is it morally neutral for me? If it's morally bad for her, wouldn't it be altruistic at least for me to refuse then, or would it be altruistic? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Isn't there a level of can't we evaluate it in terms of a level of altruism beyond simply obligation that would suggest that one would be better than the other?
Hmm. Like in my head, I have this. It makes sense, but I'm trying to explain it in a logical way. No, because it's morally bad for her to put the choice onto you, but it's not necessarily morally bad for you to choose either way. You know, unless you want. The only way you could say whether or not it's morally bad. Okay, think of it this way. If I were trying to make, if I were like you've got to kill me. Okay, use my analogy here because I think although the circumstances are not the same, like obviously, like it's not like killing her. It's like it's the same, like sort of like I want you. There's behavior that I'm exhibiting. I want you to stop. Okay, well,
Get
okay,
rid of me.
let's
Get rid of me
let's do
once
the
and for
coffee.
all.
Let's do the coffee thing. Let's do coffee. What if I said, I'm drinking way too much coffee, Eric? I want you to take my coffee pot and not give it back. Okay.
Uh huh.
Now it's morally bad that I said that because I'm putting the burden to change what is perceived as a negative behavior onto someone else. Okay, that's morally bad. But when it falls to you, it's only morally bad in terms of what the outcomes would be, right? So now you're left with this decision. Right, I chose a morally bad behavior by putting it onto you, but you've accepted it regardless. So now it's morally neutral again. Okay. Now you're like, all right, well, if I get rid of his coffee pot, um, then he may not be as productive. He's not going to be as hyperactive and engaging. So maybe he won't draw as much attention in conversations or something. That could be perceived as like a bad thing. That's almost like a utilitarian perspective, right? Or like, oh, if I get rid of it, his sleep cycle will be stable and he'll work better because he develops like a habitual sort of productive environment for himself. That's like a perceived good thing. No, it's like there's like then once it becomes neutral, then you can view that way whether or not it's morally bad or good. And since the only thing I can see happening is that we lose a viewer, it's morally bad.
That's a convoluted explanation. I like that.
Because personally, it's in your best interest to have the extra viewer
If the
in
burden gets
case.
put on you to make the decision, then you get to choose what the standard of morality is then, because then it comes from your perspective, right? If you're looking at an objective, like if you remove yourself from the situation, I would say it's morally bad for her to make the decision onto you, but then depending on the decisions you make you get to choose where the moral legitimacy lies then with the new decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I
The coffee.
I would say I like your initial summation of it as it's morally neutral for me is adequate is an adequate answer for my purposes. You know, it's like But I mean, I think the angle that's not really being argued here is one of loyalty, like personal loyalty. Well, somebody has done a lot for you already, which I think it's fair to say Metasoap has. She was an early adopter and is engaged in lots of engagement with me. And so, on that level, you might say, well, if she genuinely wants you to do her something, like do her a solid, then if she's been by your side for such a long time, shouldn't you do her that solid? What do you think about that argument?
Yes, but it's like I agree with it. The logic sounds is sound, but the actual like the
You don't
actual
feel like you're actually doing her a solid, is what you're saying.
yeah, I don't feel like you'd be doing her a solid. Like I just feel like I mean I don't understand this. Why is she here to talk about this? That's what needs to happen.
Well,
She has to
because
go back and be like, get your
maybe,
ass on GTM.
maybe she's currently banning herself. Maybe she's see, and we're gonna suck her back in with this video. Let's end this video and title it TWFP, sucking Metasoap back in. Is that evil? What if she actually is addicted? Can you be addicted to a YouTube channel, really, though? T, you are arguing
Faith,
yes,
do you
you
have any
can.
thoughts on that, Faith?
She said yes.
Faith, do you have a microphone or a camera? Are you just being
She has
camera and
both.
mic
She has
shy?
both. Turn
Can
them
you
on.
just turn them on? People would much rather look at you, I'm sure, than they would like to look at me. Well, I guess not. That's probably the wrong thing to say. If you're trying to encourage someone to turn on their camera, that's the wrong thing to say. Okay, let's stop this video and then upload it, and then
I
we'll.
feel like the quality would be bad. You could try it.